everyone, it's Kelsey from Hungry Crafty Kelsey. Today I'm going to be using the Sizzix bigz French bow die and showing you how to make a paper bow. But there's also something else that I've been doing with it. Other than making paper bows, I've been doing leather ones. So you can make some pretty beautiful leather bows and glitter. I use glitter canvas as well. This glitter I got from Hobby Lobby, and I got this floral one from a vendor from China. But you can also use materials like felt as well. So this is a felt that I got from Joann Fabrics, and that's again is a leather material that I got from a China vendor. But today I'm going to show you basically how to use this die with paper, and then you can go ahead and do the same steps with your leather, your glitter canvas, or your felt. So first thing we're going to do, we have to pick out our color combinations. This one I used this textile stack. I got this from Joann Fabrics. It's a 8.5 by 11 pattern paper stack, and it comes, all of these just, they go so well together. So it was a given that I should use this paper stack. This is paper, it's not cardstock, so these bows will rip if not taken care of. But you can use cardstock as well. I tend to not try to use paper with my dies that I use cloth with, because paper really wears and tears your dies. So, but this one I've decided that the bows are just very big for hair. My daughter's only 2 years old, so the bows look way too big in her hair. So I've decided to try to do some paper ones. So I'm going to do this one, and I think I'm going to do this paper. So I think those two color combination looks very well together. So I'm going to get this out of the way because I already have my die right here. So this is what your die looks like. You have the big one here, the small one here. This is the centerpiece, and this is the little tails. So first, I'm going to cut the paper. So you need to figure out which direction you want the pattern to go. I want the pattern to go this way when you're looking at the die. So in that case, you cut the paper this way. So what I do is I fold my paper in half, and I cut it, and this should be just long enough to fit with the big piece. Actually, I did that wrong. I need to use the back paper is the bigger one. So like in this one, I did the pretty pattern one as the smaller one so you could see it up front and center. So that's why you have to make the pattern paper as the small die, or the small bow piece, and the smaller pattern paper as the bigger pattern. So I do the same thing for this one, and I want it to go this way, so I have to cut this way. So you basically just, and for this, you want the centerpiece to be the same pattern as the back. So you just make it a little thicker, so when you go to put it on the die, it covers this centerpiece right here. So that way you get your centerpiece taken care of. And we're going to put this, and you see right here, this, it doesn't cut right here, so you want to put your fold line when you fold your paper, you want to put it right up to that. I'm not cutting the tails yet because I'm going to get the bow part taken care of, and then I'm going to cut the tails. Because the tail goes a different direction on the die. Sorry about the shakiness. The die cutter makes it shaky. Right now I'm using this Epic 6 die cutter. It's a We Are Memory Keeper brand. I think it's very old. I think it was actually like Lifestyle Crafts when that came out. But I got that for free from some crafter that didn't craft anymore. So it works very well with bigz dies, so that's why I'm using it. So, well, look, it came with 2 pattern. I made it big enough to make 2 pattern pieces. 2 of the floral pattern, I should say. So, here's the centers. It comes with 2 because I folded the paper, so you only need 1. Okay, so when you unfold the paper, this is what you get. And that's what you get. So I'm going to put this off to the side for right now. We're going to get that back in a minute. And we're just going to make our bow part. So what you have to do is you have to see how you want it to look. So I want to make sure that I don't see any white paper poking through. So you have to make sure you line it up correctly. I'm just going to use this Elmer extra strength glue, and I'm going to use some binder clips to keep it together while I'm making it. So I'm going to line that up so that the paper, can't see the paper, the white paper on the backing. We're going to do this as well, this side as well. Okay, and to make it so it stays together to dry, I like to use a little, I have these little binder clips, and I just clip it on the side, sideways, kind of diagonal. And then I do the same steps for the smaller bow. I'm going to glue on both sides. So I really do love using this die with the leather, but it's just so big. The bows end up being like 4 inches long, or wide, I should say. The bows end up being about 4 inches this way and about 4 inches that way as well. So you can see how that can be very big on a little kid's head. Okay, so I have that done. Now I'm going to put the centerpiece on. So what we want to do is you decide which way you like the pattern going. So sometimes this has a better pattern, sometimes that does, this side does. I like how the pattern looks on this side more, so I'm going to use that side as the top. So we're going to put the center right there, and then I'm going to see how it looks. Then I'm going to glue the end pieces like so. Then we're going to line this up. We're going to put the centerpiece in, and then you can put your little binder clip back. And now we're going to make the tails for the bow. So for the tails, I like to use the pretty pattern paper again. So the The reason why I didn't do the tails in the beginning is because the direction of the paper is going to be different. So I want the tails to go up and down like this. So I'm going to cut my paper differently. So I'm just going to cut like this. So I have two pieces. I'm doing it separate. I'm not doing them folded in half. So these pieces are going to be separate. So I want to make sure that I'm doing it the correct way when I go to die cut it. So that's the way that I want my pattern. I'm going to put this over. We're going to put it through our die cutting machine. You can see how how cut up my cutting pad is. Okay. And it might not cut all the way through at the end, so you're just going to have to snip it. I'm going to put that off to the side. Okay, so now it's time to put on the tails. So usually I like to line them up and see which pattern paper I want on top, because sometimes it will have a pattern on it that you just want to see more. So this one, I want to be able to see all those pretty flowers, but then I also don't want to cover up this one. But I think if we line it up like this, you'll be able to get both. So what you're going to do is now you're going to have to glue on the front of the paper instead of the back. And just make sure that you're doing it on the right side of the paper. Because sometimes you could, if you're looking at it backwards, you may end up putting it over on the other side than what you originally planned. Sorry about that. Just knocks my camera. Okay, so there's that. And what I like to do is I like to take a paper clip and I like to just clip it like that. The reason I don't use the paper clips when I'm making the bow part is because the binder clip I feel has a little stronger grip. The paper clip, because the paper is now thick because it has layers on it, I feel like it gives enough pressure on it to be able to let it dry. So these bows right here are perfect for presents, wrapping, and just card making. I think it will look very pretty on maybe a cardstock box for gifting. So you can do so much with this bow. And again, you can make really beautiful leather bows. So if you have any comments or questions, please comment below and I'll be happy to answer you. So I hope I see you guys soon. I'm going to have some different kinds of bows for you, so stay tuned. Bye.